I'm Chief Cheryl Victorian. This is Waco PD on the beat. Whether it's crime or just getting to know the Waco Police Department, we're here to talk about things that matter most to you.
Hello, Waco, and welcome to Waco PD on the beat. I am Officer AJ Smith, the Crime Stoppers Coordinator for McLennan County.
And I'm Sierra Shipley, the Public Information Officer for the Waco Police Department. And I'm sure many of you probably won't be shocked about this, but we have another event coming up.
What?
And I know, a fun event too.
I had no clue we had something coming up.
And to talk about that event, we have Neighborhood Engagement Officer Hawkins. Erik Hawkins is with us and part of the Neighborhood Engagement team. Thank you for joining us and coming on this podcast here.
Glad to be here.
Absolutely. So we're talking about the CO, which is an acronym for Community Opportunity Event. Is that
What is
right?
That is absolutely correct. What we were doing was we were first looking at probably having something like a job fair, and I shopped it around, went visit with some people, and spoke to a guy by the name of John Bible over at the African American Chamber of Commerce, and we kind of had some words about the term job fair. We spun that activity around, or that thought process around, and came out with something like community opportunity event. We did a little bit of research, talking to kids, talking to people at the schools, student body, chief of police with Waco ISD, getting a bunch of stats, information together to try to figure out what we could do to try to enhance some of the lifestyles and change the behavior of some of the kids out in the community. And we came up with community opportunity event and looked at some opportunities that would enhance the lifestyles of some of these kids.
So before we get into more about the event, let's talk a little bit about you first and kind of your longevity here at the department. How long have you been working for Waco PD, and how did you get to the net unit?
Well, I've been working for Waco PD since November of 99, which makes it, about 22, 23 years. I worked the past 13 in neighborhood services, CID, as a detective in the theft unit. I looked at the information on the application for the net process as far as getting in some of the activities that they would be involved in, and I decided that I was going to change what I was doing and become involved.
Very good, very good. And so being a part of this neighborhood engagement team, we've had a few of your coworkers, few of your unit members on here as well to talk about kind of what that net unit is and the areas they help out. So what are the areas that you help out?
I have the East Waco side. I mean, that gets into Timbercrest, that gets out there towards TSTC. I guess everything on the opposite side of the bridge is mine.
Very good, very good. All right, now back to not that you're exciting, but back to the kind of more exciting stuff I have to say, which is the CO. I think being able to put on this event is going to be so much fun for the older kids. We do a lot of stuff that is family friendly, of course, but this I feel is kind of geared toward maybe the younger, older kind of crowd in the middle there.
Well, we are specifically targeting the 16 to maybe 20-year-old, someone that's probably just out of school, looking for something to do as far as what their future holds. But we wanted to tier the event, so we had activities for the smaller age groups as well as the older age groups.
Absolutely. So when is this event? Where and when?
The event is going to be June the 11th from 10 a.m. until 4 p.m., and it'll be held at Multi-Purpose Center at 1020 Elm. That and the Rappaport campus.
Okay, very good. So it'll be pretty big, kind of extending a little bit.
I believe it's going to be very large. We're expecting a pretty nice-sized crowd. We have activities, like I said, set up for everyone. This is truly what I would consider to be an event for opportunity.
So what are some of those activities that you've got planned?
Well, first I'll begin with the business side of it. The business side of it is we wanted to provide an event that allowed kids to get GED information. Visiting with the schools, we learned that there was a lot of kids that just quit school after COVID hit, whether that be for financial reasons or what have you, but they stopped going to school. So we wanted to be able to give them GED information, and once you get your GED, what are you going to do after that? So we began talking to TSTC, MCC, Tarleton State, Texas Tech, Baylor, all of the local MCC, all the local colleges, and we have representatives from each one of those schools that's going to be out there to give scholarship information, grant information, things that could help you get back into the school system or college. We also got we researched and learned that a lot of these kids lacked immunizations. So we also partnered with the health department to get immunizations, whether it be COVID, whether it be back-to-school shots, whether it be meningitis for high school graduates or early college people. We got tutoring involved, mentoring involved. We got, or should I say, we have job opportunities through Mars, Walmart, Prosper Waco, several different. We have over 30 different vendors that are going to be at this event.
Wow.
That's wonderful. And when I know I've seen what you guys do, and as far as the preparation that's gone into this event and this planning, but when you are presenting this to the different vendors that are going to be a part of it, what's kind of the initial reaction for letting these people know this is an event that they can be a part of?
Well, I guess through social media and other media outlets, there's a lot of information out there as far as some of the issues that our general public or our communities are having. A lot of violent crimes that are happening. Crime in itself is at an all-time high. And speaking with a lot of people, we're learning that the lack of opportunity is, and social media to a certain extent are some of the root causes of what these problems are originating from. So the businesses, the people involved, the other areas that are helping in this event, they're very excited. They're very open-armed as far as trying to help us out.
That's awesome. So basically, like, they're seeing a need, don't know how to do it. You guys are like, hey, come help us. And they're like, oh, this is how I can give back. This is how I can help the community that I'm a part of.
Yes, I mean, this is an event that the net unit has created. This is not an endeavor that has been done before. I guess we can also get into the fun parts of what's going to happen at this event. Let's see here. We have, for the smaller age groups, we have bounce houses. We're putting together a scavenger hunt. We have the characters from Encanto that's going to be there in full costume.
Nice.
Anna, Spider-Man,
I love
Supergirl. We have, I guess, some of the Pokemon people. We have Pikachu and some of these other characters that are going to be in full uniform. We've also received support from athletic departments, MCC. They're going to have their, I'm not sure if the men and women's basketball athletes will be out there to give us a hand and to kind of meet and greet. But we've received support from Scott Drew and Tweety over at Baylor University. They're going to have their men and women basketball teams out. They're going to be out taking pictures, meeting, greeting the kids, talking to them. So, we and I can't tell you everything that's going to be out there. We want you to get to come out and see.
Exactly. Curiosity, what we want to bring you out there. And some great prizes to win, too.
Do you hate crime? Do you like money? Then call Crime Stoppers and help us arrest bad guys. By providing information that leads to an arrest or solves a felony case, you can earn up to $2,000. Call 254-753-HELP, which is 4357 for those of you that don't remember the good old days of texting. And additionally, you can now call **Tips, which is way easier to remember. If you call ** tips, it'll connect you to somebody in the area. And then when you hang up, it'll send you a text message where you can add additional information as you get it. Help us solve crime and make up to $2,000 in the process.
That's right. By sending in a tip, it's completely anonymous, and if it leads to an arrest, you could earn up to $2,000 in a reward. And just to remind you all, tipping ain't snitching.
Heck yeah.
Definitely.
Some
And
awesome prizes.
I picked some of those myself. So
Prizes that you are going to want to be here for. Do you want to give away just one of them? Just talk about one of them that we might have that people can win?
one of the prizes will be a 55-inch television.
There you go.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. So.
I'll give you two.
Oh.
An Apple Watch.
What?
Yes.
Oh, my goodness.
I'll give you three. An iPad.
Oh, my goodness.
I mean, the prizes are things that are going to be very worthwhile for the participants in the event. And the way the event is set up through the genius of someone that I may be sitting across from, you can't just come to the event and enter the contest and win a prize. The way the event is set up, you have to have a stamp. You have to visit at least 6 or 7 stations, get checked off from those stations in order to proceed to the actual prize-winning events.
Right.
And these
stations to help our vendors that are going to be there.
Yes, I mean, such as you have to be checked off from career opportunities, after-school programs. We also, I didn't tell you, we have the 4 branches of the military that are going to be there.
Wonderful.
Recruiters from the Army, the Navy, Marines, and Air Force. You have to get a stamp from one of those guys. Mentoring programs, first responder programs, mental health, sports organizations. I mean, I think it's very well organized and very well set up.
Very good, very good. That's awesome to know that it's kind of, it feels a little bit more interactive. It's going to get those kids that are showing up involved and maybe a little bit more excited to learn about the different things that are there.
Exactly, and that's what we wanted to create, was an interactive environment in which you can get the information, and it almost forces you to be social with other groups of people to get that information.
Right. Now you talked about where this event is, and of course we've touched on the importance of it, but a lot of the events that we've had so far have been here at our department. Why is it important to maybe have this event in the area that we picked?
I represent the East Waco community as a neighborhood engagement officer, and I spoke to several different families. I spoke to several different business owners. I spoke to representatives from the schools in that area, and this is something that they've been craving. This is something that they've been wanting, and I took that information to our department heads, and they were all for it. So I think it's important that we listen to the information that is given to us by the community members and try to fulfill that need.
Absolutely.
Just kind of meet people where they are, too, it sounds like.
That's exactly what it is.
Yeah. So you've mentioned, I heard the number 30, but it sounded like more than 30 once you started listing all these different organizations that are coming to help. Why is that so important to have such a variety of people and so many of them out there represented?
And speaking to some of the people that helped me to get situated and find my bearing on this event, that is why it's called a community opportunity event instead of just a job fair. We wanted to be able to provide all the opportunities that are out there to ensure that our kids, that our young people find something or a place where they can fit in. Summertime's rolling around. A lot of these people, a lot of these kids may be challenged as far as how to get to and from some of the locations at which we are trying to put in front of them. I didn't mention, but Waco Transit is also on board with this. I believe, if my information is correct, if you are a student, you can ride the bus to any location as long as you're a student. So
that's what I've heard too. That's an awesome opportunity to have that available to you.
Right. A lot of people don't know that. I didn't know that.
Right.
So this is the type of information that we want to give our kids.
That's awesome. And how much planning has gone into? I mean, I know a lot of planning has gone into it, but it's very little amount of time, I feel.
You have no idea. I tell you, it's taken a lot of energy, because a lot of these places or should I say we physically went to these locations to get this information. And, in seeking, being able to fund this type of an event, because everything is free, it takes a lot of time. So, but I think the effort is something that will be well utilized.
Absolutely. I think it's going to be a great event, a kind of different event, I feel, too. We, of course, have our back to school bash that we did last year and are gearing up for this year's. And we had our trunk or treat. And I know you guys did the crime prevention summit as well. The Net Unit had sponsored that and did that at the Texas Ranger Museum.
Right.
So it's been a whirlwind. I wasn't shocked when I heard that a new event was going to be planned and ready.
Exactly.
Our ride-along program is a great opportunity to get to know what it's like to be an officer for a day. By simply filling out an application, you can ride in a patrol car with an officer on duty to see what it's like to serve and protect your community. You cannot, however, ride if you have an active warrant.
The ride-along program is monitored based on COVID-19 cases. Currently, cases have been low enough to reopen this program, and we request that you ride along for a minimum of 2 hours, and rides are not available on Thursdays. But for additional guidelines on submitting a ride-along request, you can visit the Waco Police Department and ask for a ride-along form.
The way I view the CO, as we call it, the Community Opportunity Event, is it's nice to receive some of the benefits that are provided through some of the other programs. It is very nice, very generous, very considerate of people to donate their time and their efforts to ensure that our kids are prepared for the upcoming year. But it is a totally different feeling and a totally different response and emotion when you enable your children and your kids, those young people, to be able to provide some of those things for themselves through their own work, through their own abilities to go out and earn the money that they use to pay for school supplies, backpacks, candy, what have you, clothing. It's just a certain amount of pride that goes with that. And even though these programs are definitely beneficial, we want to also try to give them the opportunity to be able to do some of these things for themselves.
Absolutely. Now, what would you say that in the midst of all this planning and getting ready and obstacles and all that stuff that we've had to go through to put this event on, what are you most excited for?
I am most excited about the location in which we're having this event. The people of that community have been wanting to have something of this nature for a very long time. And I'm not saying that that community has been ignored, but that community is growing. And the people of that community want to be a part of that growth. They don't just want to be people that are there. They want to be a part of what's going on. Sure. And I think what we're giving them is the opportunity to actually be a part of some of the growth in the city of Waco.
Yeah, I think that's super exciting. And like you said earlier, just we do a lot of events that kind of gear toward those younger kids, right? And so I think it's really important, too, that we target the younger kids, but then also target the after as well. So
Exactly.
Being able to help maybe the older kids in what happens now. You graduated high school, or maybe you're still trying to graduate high school. Maybe you had to drop out because of COVID, or, what happened over the last few years, and now you don't know how to really get back, or not sure what those right steps are. So I think this is great to just prepare our kids for a really bright future.
Yeah, kids and young adults, because they're getting to that age where they're not kids anymore. Like, they're getting to be 18. You said up to 20 is where their target range is. So
yes,
they need help, but
they need to be held accountable and responsible for some of the actions that they take. And I think this gives them the opportunity to to make some choices, and this is going to equip them with some very wise choices to make. Hopefully they take advantage of what we're trying to put together for them.
Absolutely. And I do want to say one thing, and maybe it's obvious to everyone else, but it was not obvious to me until, I'm going to say, 3 days ago. And that was, I understood Community Opportunity Event, COE, okay, let's call it the CO. I did not put 2 and 2 together when someone said, well, it's the CO because we're Waco, and the kids call Waco the CO.
That is absolutely correct.
And I said, oh my gosh.
You've got me beat by 3 days.
That did not click in my head for I've been helping you guys with advertisement, things like that for probably a month maybe now. And yeah, someone is like, oh, the CO, Waco, the CO. And I said, oh, yep, you're right. Yeah. That's really cool.
Yeah, that took a little bit of thought. And that is clever. I'll tell you what, through the help of others, through information that I received from others, we were able to come up with that. And I think that's it's fitting for what we're doing. Right.
I think this event too, and I'm sure you have so much gratitude for these vendors and people who have helped sponsor and things like that, and those community members who've helped kind of get this event up and running off the ground. I don't think we'd be able to do it without them.
That's absolute. If that's one of the last things that I do say in this podcast, that's one thing that I definitely want to get out. I want to definitely thank the people involved for donating their time, their effort, their information, their ideas, everything that it took as a community to make this event have the possibility of being successful. So thank you.
That's very, very true. And I know too, a lot of our events that we have planned, they've been with the help of many people who have sponsored and vendored and participated in these events. But as far as this particular event, these are community members that we've had meetings with that have come and sat with us and spoke about how is this event going to run. And that's something we haven't really done here at the department before.
No, I think this event is definitely very unique. I guess being first year in NET, learning the policies, processes, procedures, and things that we're allowed to do in NET. This is a child that we gave birth to. And I think that we're going to nurture it. We're going to try to teach it. We're going to learn from it. We're going to do everything that we can to try to make sure that this event becomes an annual event. I think it's very important that we engage the young people in a fashion in which we take their input and give them what they're asking for instead of the input that we think that we should be giving them.
Right.
We're going to, like I said, at the end of the event, hopefully we have some type of survey. Well, we'll have some type of survey so the vendors and the people involved can give us their input, and maybe we can do it bigger and better the next time around.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, just like with everything else that we've been doing, we're growing with momentum. Every event we have is a little bit bigger than the last, and now people are going to start expecting these things. So hopefully, we get good input. You guys are able to grow it and turn it into something even better next year.
The Waco Police Department Crime-Free Housing Program is designed to build a partnership between police and owners or managers of rental properties to keep drugs and other illegal activity off property.
This program calls on management to make steps toward providing a clean and safe living environment for the citizens of Waco by asking them to spend a little time and a little money to benefit their residents. This will also benefit the property managers as well.
For more information on the Crime-Free Housing Program, visit the Waco Police Department website at wacopolice.com.
Exactly. This began with a thought, and right now we have a full-grown man.
That's right.
So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, very true. And that's something that, too, we always ask for from the community side at the events is we usually might have a feedback survey or something like that to do. And,
exactly.
And the community can kind of say, hey, we really liked this. We think this maybe could have been better. But we really rely on those community feedback to change the event, make it better, make it what they want, because it's an event for them.
Exactly. We spend a lot of time trying to give people information instead of getting their input on what it is that they actually need, want, desire, or what their thought process is. I actually took time out to listen, and listen before we moved. And I think that's going to be the difference.
Yeah, I mean, there's a reason we got 2 ears and 1 mouth, so we can listen twice as much as we speak, but nobody does.
There you go.
Exactly.
There you go. I think that's good. That's good. All right. Well, before we, if they've been listening to this podcast and they still don't know the reasoning, but why should someone attend?
They should be there for several different reasons. For one, you get to rejoice in something. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be you get to rejoice in meeting your fellow neighbors. Hopefully, it's a nice, bright, sunshiny day. We're going to have food. We're going to have fun. You're going to get information. Like I said, if you're lacking immunizations, you can bring your children there for the immunizations. If someone struggled during the school year, they can get tutoring information. They get mentoring information. They can have job opportunities. There's just a vast amount of things that you could do.
Yeah.
And I mean, if you have even the smaller kids, they can come out. They can take photos. We're gonna have photo booths where they can meet the Disney characters. You're gonna have, like I said, Scott Drew Baylor's coach. He and I talk about this all the time. We talked about an event like this even pre-COVID, and he's gonna have his guys out there taking pictures, getting reacquainted with the community. I think I'm going to meet with some people, find out if the ladies bears are going to be there also, taking photos, just kind of meet and greet. Coach Gill out at MCC is going to have his players out there meeting, talking to people, taking pictures. I mean, it's just going to be a fun day.
And I know you touched on it, but this is a free event.
This
absolutely
is
free.
Absolutely free.
Come, enjoy, learn, and we hope that we can help you guys in your future endeavors.
I do appreciate it.
Yes. So
Thank you.
one more time, give us a rundown, when and where.
It is going to be at the Multi-Purpose Center along with the Rappaport campus at 1020 M on June the 11th from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Oh, and there will be a live broadcast for 94.5 The Beat, who has been very beneficial and very helpful in this entire process as well. So thank you guys as well.
Awesome.
Very good. Well, we will wrap it up here. Erik, thank you so much for joining us here on Waco PD on the Beat. We appreciate it, and we're excited for the CO.
Thank you.
I'm Sierra Shipley, your Public Information Officer.
And I'm Officer AJ Smith, the Crime Stoppers Coordinator for McLennan County.
Have a good one, Waco.
Until next time.
Waco PD on the Beat, the heartbeat serving